Here are the verbs to be and to be named, wa and iniki. We will only use the conjugated forms. You won't ever have to use these verbs in these forms seen here. Iniki is actually a very vast verb. It has lots of phrasings that can be made just from that root alone, but we're only going to be focusing on the naming part. All right, let's get started. What we have here is the first person form of the verbs to be and to be named. How we have been practicing these is introducing ourselves and now introducing others. So I might say Leslie was or Leslie wa, for I am Leslie. Leslie in was or Leslie in wa, for the same phrase, I am Leslie. Leslie Winnikissa, I am named Leslie. Leslie Winnikissa, or Een Winnikissa Leslie. Een Winnikissa Leslie. Or I could say Leslie Winnikt was. Leslie Winnikt was. Or Eenim was Winnikt Leslie. Here we focus on the third person. So talking about somebody other than ourselves, could be he, could be she, could be it, a singular form of someone other than ourselves. Same verbs, to be and be named. We'll use Anessa in our examples. Anessa he was, or Anessa he, saying she is Anessa. Anessa epi he was, Anessa he. Same sentence, she is Anessa. Anessa he Winnikissa. Anessa he Winnikissa. She is named Anessa. Or Anessa Winnikt he was. Anessa Winnikt he was. Her name is Anessa. Again, these can be changed and added onto or taken apart in many different ways. You might have heard it different, and that's okay. Just like saying Een or Epi he Winnikissa Anessa. She is named Anessa. And so they can be molded into different ways of how we might use these same exact verbs, and that's beautiful. Now to pluralize these, this is the third person plural form. So again, we're still talking about somebody other than ourselves, but multiple people. So an example here would be Wat unumipu hiusich. They are not NEZ PERCE. Wat unumipu imahusich. Same sentence, they are not NEZ PERCE. Soyapum hiwiniksich. They have soyapu names. Soyapu winikin husich. So again, saying that their names are not NEZ PERCE. All right, and finally, our first person plural. So this is talking about us in, obviously plural form. So the examples here are numipu wisich, we are NEZ PERCE. Numipu nun wisich, we are NEZ PERCE. Same thing, but this time it has the nun in there, the nun representing us, which is also said in wisich. So I gave both examples to show that you can use either or and it will still sound perfectly fine. Numipu winiksich, we are named NEZ PERCE. Numipu winikin wasich, we have NEZ PERCE names. All right, moving on. So we're going to use the same verbs to be and be named, but associate them with a couple of kinship ties. I think we'll start with parents. And so, and how we can use the wa and iniki when speaking about our mother and father. All right, we're going to start with the words for mom or mother. Pika is a general term for mother, and that can be anybody's mother until you clarify whose mother or which mother you're talking about. You might have heard Pikawatisna, Mother Earth, So different things, yeah. So it's just a very generalized term for mother or mom. Itza is more specific. Itza represents your mom when talking to her. So say if she's in the room or you have her on the phone, you would call her itza. Itza. A way that we say my mom is naitz. Naitz. So you see it doesn't have that ending on there. And I know it's easy to want to add it on because we're so used to saying itza. So in this one, you're just going to say naitz. Another way to say my mom is inim pika. Inim pika. Inim being mine, pika, mother, my mom or mother. Inim pika. Your mom, im-is. Im-is. You could also say imim pika if you wanted to. Imim pika. His or her mom, ipnim pika. Ipnim pika. So all of those again, pika, itza, naitz, inim pika, im-is, ipnim pika. All right, here comes the fun part. So now we're going to focus on putting that into introducing our mom. Okay, and here is a handful of ways. You may have heard them different. Like I said, you can add in or take off or say these whichever way is most comfortable for you. Inim pikanim wanikt us. So inim being mine, pikanim, mother's is, like belonging to the mother. Wanikt, name, us, has. So it's basically saying my mother has the name. Inim pikanim wanikt us, Lily. So then you would say the name somewhere within that sentence before or after. Whatever you're most comfortable with, naitz hiwis or naitz was. So I could say, if I was introducing my mom, naitz hiwis, naitz was, Lily. Either one of those is fine. You can use hiwis because you're talking about a third person other than yourself, or you can use was because you're saying mine, my mother. Naitzim wanikt us. So that's like saying my mother has the name. Naitzim wanikt us, my mother's name, has the name, and then say her name afterwards. Naitzim wanikt us, Lily. Inim pika hiwis or inim pika was. Inim, again being mine, pika, mother. Hiwis is or was is, because again, you can use either of those. Hiwis because you're talking about a third person other than yourself, or was because you're talking about something that is yours. Inim pika. Naitz hiwenekissa. Naitz is my mom. Hiwenekissa has the name. So here we're saying naitz hiwenekissa Lily, or whatever your mom's name is. So practice those. I'll go down and say them all one more time. Katla titokatimtki. Inim pikanim wanikt us. Inim pikanim wanikt us. Naitz hiwis or naitz was. Naitz hiwis or naitz was. Naitzim wanikt us. Naitzim wanikt us. Inim pika hiwis or inim pika was. Inim pika hiwis, inim pika was. Naitz hiwenekissa. Naitz hiwenekissa. All right, time to talk about those fathers and dads. Again, the general term for father is píst. Píst. This is general. So that means you could be talking about anybody's dad until you clarify or specify which dad it is that you're talking about. Píst. Tota is what you would use when speaking to your own father, to your dad, either in person or on the phone. Tota. Tota is how you would address him. Tota. Natot, my dad. Natot. You could also say inim píst for my dad. Inim píst. Imtot, your dad. Imtot. Another way would be imim píst. Imim píst. And if you want to talk about his or her father, ipnim píst. Ipnim píst. All right, putting together what we have learned with to be and be named and combine it with our terms for dad or father. When introducing one's dad or father, here's a handful of ways that you can say that. Again, there are other ways. Use what is most comfortable for you. Inem pisit pimwanikt us. Inem pisit pimwanikt us. That's like saying my father has the name, and then you'd say their name afterwards. Inem pisit pimwanikt us. Natot hiwis or natot was, saying my father is. My father is. And again, that hiwis or was is interchangeable. You're either going to use one or the other, whatever you're most comfortable with. And these will change depending on whether or not your parents are still alive. And in this case, we're going to say that they are. So we're using the present tense form of hiwis or was. The next one is natotam wanikt us. Natotam wanikt us. So it's like my father's name has the name. My father has the name. Natotam, my father's is. Wanikt us has the name. Inem píst hiwis or inem píst was. My father is. Inem píst hiwis or inem píst was. And the last one, natot hiwinakisa. Natot hiwinakisa. So you would use these when, if you're trying to let somebody know what who your father is. So you might add on their name. I'll use Lester for mine. So natot hiwinakisa Lester. Natot hiwinakisa Lester. Or inem pisit pimwanikt us Lester. Inem pisit pimwanikt us. And then add the name of who it is you're trying to tell. Natot hiwis or natot was. Natot hiwis, natot was. Natotam wanikt us. Natotam wanikt us. Inem píst hiwis or inem píst was. Natot hiwinakisa. Natot hiwinakisa. And that is all for today. Yok okalo. Pati out yao.